Howdy! It's been a while, hasn't it? Well, here I am, making another video, and it's not an animation, unfortunately, but I am working on a really cool animation, and I'll go into that a little bit later. I thought I'd just kind of make a recording of what's been new really quickly, because I've been working for the past 5 hours on this gigantic project, and I got overwhelmed and my blood sugar went low, and I'm type 1 diabetic, for those of you who don't know, so when you're working for 5 hours at a time and you forget to eat, your blood sugar goes low and it's really inconvenient, and I hate it, but here we are. So, anyway, what am I doing? I guess we could start there. Chris and I moved to Vermont recently. We were living in Washington, Chris being my boyfriend, who is also an artist, living in Washington for about a year, and then moved back here because we got the call. We were trying to like start this art business called Dead Nettle, and we ended up making a bunch of jewelry, and we made a bunch of pieces of art, then we made a display, and we went to this kind of like art fair called Odd Mall, which was really fun, and we were able to sell a lot of our stuff. We made the booth back, plus like maybe $200 extra, which is very little, but it was a lot of work. And so anyway, before we did the convention, I got a call from my dad saying that my uncle was diagnosed with small cell lung cancer, which is a terminal cancer, and what ended up happening was his lung collapsed, and they did an x-ray and they found the cancer. And so Chris and I sat down thinking, like, what the hell are we gonna do? Because I tried living with my uncle for a couple months before I moved to Washington. It didn't work out, and that's why I moved to Washington. Well, one of the main reasons. Oh my god, my socks are so wet and my feet are so cold. It's 8 degrees here in Vermont. So, what was I saying? Right, so we got the call. We talked a lot about moving back because we knew it would be difficult. And I was determined, because I've got some like sort of hero complex or something. I was determined to take care of him and help him because he was not a very healthy person. Smoked a lot, and that's how we got the cancer. Small cell lung cancer is typically only diagnosed in smokers. Didn't eat very well, ate a lot of junk food, was overweight, had type 2 diabetes, all this stuff. I figured I could help him with his diet, knowing a lot about nutrition myself, and thought that I might start him on the ketogenic diet. Some cancers do well with that, some don't. It's kind of one of those things that you have to do some guesswork, but at least get his carbs down, more vegetables, all that stuff. So that's what we did. So we moved August 4th. We moved to Vermont with 4 suitcases and 2 carry-on things each. All of our possessions. We fit all of, like, there's still so much more in Washington, but we fit like all of our art supplies in 1 suitcase pretty much. Just stuffed everything in and came to Vermont. And it was as soon as we walked in the house, it was horrible. We had to clean up everything. I won't go into too much detail because it's rough, but we made it, we did it, we cleaned, we got the place looking nice. I stayed with my uncle. I did everything I could to help him live, at least, I knew I wouldn't save him, but I thought, I could help him live at least a better life, or be more comfortable, not in so much pain, and maybe prolong it a little bit. And I really did this for my dad and my brother more than anything else, because I didn't want my dad, he's not very healthy himself. He's kind of body's kind of weak, and I didn't want him to have to go through all of that on his own. So in that time, I did very little art. I made some sculptures. It's very difficult to find the inspiration to make things when you're faced with, you know, something so serious. So, anyway, kind of rambling. Oh, my mom's calling me. Oh, hold on. No, sorry, Mom. Not today. I'll call her back after I make this, but where was I? Fuck, I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. Anyway, my uncle, yes, my uncle, he lived for a few more months after his diagnosis. I had him on mushroom supplementation, medicinal mushrooms. He lived quite a bit for how unhealthy he was, and I think I might have helped, but you know, it's one of those things where you just don't know. Like, if I did this or if I did that, what helped, what didn't help, would he have lived that long anyway? It's just kind of a crapshoot. So a few weeks ago, I think it was like 3 weeks ago. No, it was New Year's. So Jesus Christ, it's been a long time, but it's all melting into each other. It's crazy. New Year's, we went out to see a Fish concert. There's a Fish concert in New York, and there was a venue here that was streaming the Fish concert, so Chris and I went to that, and came back, and he was fine. And I don't know if it was that night or the night after. I really don't remember. I think it was the night after. He was in his chair, like he always is, watching TV. Chris and I went and we did things during the day. We came back, and it was about, I think it was about 10 p.m. My uncle had this episode, like it was the doctor said they think it was a stroke, ultimately what happened, but he seized, and Chris and I were the ones there to watch. So what ended up happening was, Chris and I had to call the ambulance. Chris had to help my uncle onto the floor when the police got there, and it was this whole thing, and I had to call the family, because Chris looked at me and he was like, I don't think he's gonna make it, and you should call your family. So that's what I ended up doing, and anyway, he died in the hospital, and Chris and I were the ones to see the episode. I'm trying to be pretty vague because if I go into detail, it's gonna bring up stuff for me, but we both, Chris and I are both really sensitive. We both have PTSD, and I have compounding PTSD, which means that I have experienced several different traumas throughout my life that have caused this kind of compounding sort of thing. And my uncle's death brought that up for both of us, and we both relapsed. Because we were just dealing with the aftermath, and there was like all this stuff we had to do. We had to clean the apartment, we had to contact a bunch of people, my dad's working on all this stuff. It cost like $2,800 to have him cremated. And just like, you know, it's just fucking like they stick a pole up your ass and rub it around because they... Sorry, that's my pump. What's going on? Anyway, they fuck you in the ass even after you're dead. So, you know, that's cool. To do things like that to people. But, anyway, I hadn't done any art during this period. I don't know if I said that already. I've been like trying to record this this is probably like my 4th time, and I'm just gonna go with this one because I'm too tired to even care at this point. But my mind is just a mess, and I'm so tired, and I've been working so hard, and several different health issues have popped up in the past. I'm not trying to get sympathy or anything. I just want like I want people to understand, like, oh my god, shut up. I'm sorry. What's going on? Oh, end of insulin suspend. Okay. I'm sure I'm fine. I feel better. Okay, so this is what I deal with. Like, this is my fucking life. Like, I'm not trying to complain. I have it better than a lot of people. But it's just one thing after the other, and it's been one thing after the other for, like, I haven't had a break. So it's just like, it's hard because all I want to do is animate. All I want to do is make things and show people and make people laugh, and I have all this shit to deal with. Like, I got tendinitis because I took an antibiotic for my recurring UTIs, and I got tendinitis, and now I'm going to physical therapy. I have it in my right wrist, of all places, in my right wrist, which is my dominant hand, and I use that to draw, and I have a little wrist thing. I'm not wearing it right now, and I have it in my hips, so I can't really walk. So it's like, fuck, what do you do? What do you even do? It's so hard, and I just, like, I didn't want this to become a video of me complaining. I wanted it to be an update video, but now it's just me, like, talking. I guess it's kind of therapeutic for me to just talking to my phone, and then I'm gonna upload it, and then whatever people think of me, I don't give a shit, but anyway, let's try to steer this back to where I intended it to go. But things, despite all of this stuff, despite all of this shit, the tendinitis, and then also my thyroid hormones are off. My doctor won't change them. I also have Hashimoto's thyroiditis. It's all autoimmune shit. The thyroid things, like, it's one of those things that it's like the numbers, just like, if they're just slightly off, you start to feel really horrible, and my numbers were going wacky, and I gained 20 pounds, and that kind of, like, made me feel like, you could tell my thyroid is puffy. I go to the endocrinologist tomorrow. Hopefully they will change my levels, because I have been, like, just I'm so tired, and, like, I can't eat, because if I eat, I'll start gaining weight, and it's like, so I haven't been eating, and my blood sugar is going low. It's just fucking good things. Let's focus on the good things. I got a car. That's a really good thing. With my uncle's money, I'm going to buy I plan on buying a Wacom, I forget the name of it. It's one of their tablet computers. Like, it's an actual computer and the tablet, and so I won't have to, like, lug all of my equipment around. I could just have, like, one kind of hub thing, and hopefully that will kind of get me back in the mood to do things. And what else? Yeah, the car, getting some new equipment. Jan, my brother, won first place in the Garden State Film Festival for his composition, for his theme of he did the music for one of my friend's films, which is actually, I'm going to be working on the sequel as the makeup artist, and also I'm doing an animation sequence. So that's what I'm working on. As far as, like, art, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm focusing on, and I'll even show you in a minute, focusing on doing this animated sequence for this film. It's supposed to be, like, really trippy and grotesque, and I'm good at that. So here, let me show you. Can I flip this around? I'm afraid press buttons. Oh, that just took a picture. Ugh, really? So I have to, like, turn it around? I can't even tell if I'm showing you. Okay. Well, you know, can I... This sucks, dude. Alright. There we go. Yeah, so that's some crazy trippy monsters, and this, like, dumpster is supposed to come to life, so I made this dumpster monster, and there's, I have more, but I want it to be a surprise. Oh, here's another guy that I did today. He's kind of great. Okay, so yeah, that's what I've been up to as far as art. The film is called Lil Balzac. That's what my brother won first place. He did a kind of like a James Bond type ending theme, and they entered it. So I'm really proud of him for that. He's kind of been in a slump too. I'm trying to dry my socks on this vent because they got wet somehow. Oh, goodness gracious. I guess I should tell you about where I am right now. Basically, after my uncle died, we couldn't afford the apartment that he was living in. It was like almost $1,000 a month, and we just couldn't afford that. And it was like we just don't like the apartment. There are like different spiritual reasons that I won't talk about because you guys will think I'm insane, but anyway, we're looking for an apartment, and it's really, really expensive to live in the town that we live in. Rent is like extremely expensive, but I found this place on Craigslist for $600 a month, which is pretty reasonable, and it was month to month. And we came in, we looked at it, we talked to the landlord, and he was like, this place, and we walk in, and we're like, oh, Jesus Christ, we look at the place, it's disgusting. And there was, like, children's drawings on the fridge, and there was, like, the fridge was disgusting. It was filled, whoever lived there before just did not clean it, and I have really bad, like, I have mild OCD, so, like, seeing that stuff, yeah, I've got all sorts of shit, but I try not to complain about it. So the fridge was disgusting. There was like hair and like mystery goop, and I had to wear gloves, and I almost vomited twice. And then the bathroom's like just horrid. I'll show you. I'll walk around in a bit. But the deal was that whatever project we did, he would pay for the materials, and then Chris and I would do the work, and then he would knock off some sort of amount. We'd make an agreement to knock the amount based on what work we've done for that month. As it turns out, there was so much more than we had ever imagined there to be. There was a leak in the kitchen sink. There was all of this like weird, there's like the whole foundation is shifted, so there's these cracks everywhere, and then someone decided to put up cabinets in this weird place. I'll show you. I just got finished painting it, and they like screwed a bunch of they had a bunch of Phillips head screws in, and then one of them was like this, I don't know what it's called, but this like this little square hole, and then we had to get like all these different drill heads, and my dad brought his drill bits, and my dad brought his drill bits, and just all of this shit. There's like gaps everywhere, and there's like just whoever made this place was an idiot, was like a mad, like just got out of the fucking mental institution, or just like thought that they could make a house but had no idea how to do it. I don't even know. It's like, it's the worst place I've ever lived, or that I've ever rented, I think. Chris and I we got it last month, and we haven't even been able to move in because we've been doing all of this work. So we're kind of in this limbo between my uncle's apartment and this apartment, and they said we could stay there. The landlord there said we could stay there for another month and for free. So it's like, well, not for free. I mean, it was my uncle's, like, because you pay the first and last, so it was the last. But I think that I feel like I'm in over my head right now, because I've got this animation project, and that's what I really want to do with my life, obviously, is art and animation. I've kind of, like, it was this whole journey of, like, I was doing all this stuff with Adult Swim, and, you know, like, I was friends with, you know, I'm just gonna fucking say it, because I don't care. I don't care if, like, anyone says anything, because at this point, I'm so tired of everything. But I was really good friends, and I don't know if I mentioned this previous video, with this, I became friends with a YouTube animator, and that YouTube animator was Chris O'Neill, and we hung out once. Actually, we hung out twice, once at a convention and once at his place, and this was, like, years ago. So I was on this, like, mountain of awesomeness, and because of my drug use, like, my abuse of medication and my abuse of alcohol, I became this, like, neurotic, psychotic, like, all of my issues just kind of bubbled up, and I kind of, like, freaked Chris out, and he told me that he never wanted to talk to me again. So, there's that, and so, like, I have to make amends to people, and I tried, like, a few months ago when I was in Washington, I tried to make amends for him, and, or to him, I tried to make amends to him, and I wrote out this really nice, like, hey, I fucked up, I'm really sorry, I wish it turned out differently, but I understand that you don't want to talk to me. I won't ever contact you again after this. I just wanted to say, like, you know, that sort of thing. Like, I just wanted to say that I was going through a lot, and I made a lot of mistakes, and I apologize if I hurt you in any way, or if I, you know, if I made you uncomfortable. I think I just made him uncomfortable. It was so embarrassing. I don't even want to go into it. It's really embarrassing, because that's not who I am, and I fucking, like, I'm in this, I had this, like, great friendship with him. Well, it wasn't great, it was just, like, it was just starting out, and I feel like if I were just, like, you know, I have this regret, and it's hard to let go, so it's like, we were just starting out being friends, and then I was with these people in Adult Swim, and it just, like, all toppled down all around me. So I'm, like, at ground zero right now. And that's how my life has been for the past maybe 4 years, is me toppling down and then, like, looking around at all of the mess that I made and just starting over, just starting new. Trying to live with the fact that I'll never talk to any of these people again. Maybe not any, I'll never talk to a lot of them again. There are some that I can still contact, fortunately, but nothing really meaningful yet. So I apologize for all the rambling. It's just, I'm so frustrated. And I think the reason that I'm trying to get this out is because, well, number one, it's therapeutic for me, but also I think sharing these sorts of things help people, like, help people who are going through similar issues, kind of, like, there's, like, this perspective where you see that someone else is going through this, and you kind of feel like, okay, I'm not alone, or, like, you know, maybe I'll get help, I don't want anyone else to have, I don't want anyone to have to suffer like I have, or make the same mistakes that I have, but, you know, I'm not gonna stop it. If I stop one person, or if I, like, can help one person, then I think, then it's all worth it. My socks are drying on this. Did I show you that already? I don't even know. Jesus Christ. What is wrong with me? Yeah, so, you know, I'm not trying to complain. And I know a lot of people, a lot of YouTube people, and I don't consider myself a YouTube person, but if I was, I know a lot of other YouTube people, like, have all this drama around their issues and stuff, and it's like, all I want to do is take the suffering that I've gone through, take the trials and the obstacles that I've overcome, and do something with it. Help people, make animations, help people to realize that they don't have to go through it alone, that they can reach out and find help, and that there's always help. And I don't know, that's my speech. Eat your vegetables, take care of yourself, go see a therapist. I'm gonna show you this godforsaken hellhole that we found ourselves in. Let me put my socks back on, hold on. This is kind of like a day in the life with me. You get to see me, like, oh, this is what it's like to hang out with Michael. She's a fucking neurotic piece of shit. Oh. It's hard to do this with one hand. Okay, let's see here. Oh my goodness. Okay. Alright, so this is, let's start from the beginning, like you're walking into the house. Okay, so like, hi, I'm walking into the house, here's the front door. Oh, look at this. Oh, no. Oh, so this wall was like, this sucks because there's no option to flip the phone, so it's like, I can't just go boop, so I have to like turn it. This wall was where the cabinets were up there. This was all up there. And then we took that down, and we painted the fridge with chalk paint, and we have chalk markers. So I wrote stuff there. Right now, I'm painting this countertop. I'm gonna start that up in a minute. After this video, I'm like painting, it's like 3 coats of paint. And now I have to shellac it, because it's a countertop, and I'm gonna be using it to prepare food. So yeah, that's that. This range, this kitchen is tiny. There were these shelves up there, like these metal shelves, and they're disgusting and horrible, and I hate them. So I took them down. And this is the fucking bathroom. It's still really bad. Like, look at this. I don't know if you can see this, because I don't know if it's showing up, but it's just absolutely disgusting. The plumber was here, and he left a mess, and I'm really upset about that. I'm not actually that upset about it, but I'm exaggerating for the video. There's like these shelves here. I've been using this, well, that's not that one, but I've been using this, it's like acrylic latex putty stuff, caulking. So this is what it looked like before, and all of these shelves are just falling down, and then this is what it looks like after I put the caulk on, and then I have to paint over it. All of this was like, there was gaps everywhere. All here, this whole thing was just gaps. This whole thing was gaps. This whole thing was gaps. I have to like, I still have gaps. I have to fill in here. I have to fill in here, this gaps. It's like coming apart. It's peeling up there. This whole door is fucking crooked. Can you tell? It's just like leaning to the side. It's like a fucking madhouse. Jesus Christ, I hate looking at it. But yeah, so today I finished that wall. I got everything going with that, and hopefully we'll finish this countertop today. It was a horrible, disgusting, like, laminate, this, like, really outdated, weird color that I hated, and it was, like, full of paint, so why not paint over it? Oh, the room, too. So, check this out. Oh. This lamp. Oh, can you? Yeah. So this lamp I got, it's an antique lamp, and it's got this little table, and I love that lamp. I love lamp. So this was like, there's just cracks everywhere. There were cracks, and this was a hole that had been punched in, and my dad patched it up. My dad's a professional, he's like a carpenter and does handiwork and stuff, so he had to like do this whole thing where he cut into the drywall and patch it, and he showed me how to do that, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I gotta check my blood sugar again. I think I hit low. But that's my life right now, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, thank you for staying along for the ride. I think one day I'll post regular videos. I think one day we're trying to do a podcast, actually, my brother and I, an art podcast for artists, like about the struggles that artists have to go through, and you know, that all these different topics. Our first episode, eventually after I get it edited, our first episode is about delusional artists, which is cool. So, oh god, I'm getting dizzy. Yeah, that's it. That's Jesus Christ. I gotta stop talking or I'll piss myself. Hope you guys are doing well, and hope you guys are doing better than I am, for sure. And I guess I'll post another video at some point, maybe in the next 6 months, hopefully. Yeah, so goodbye. Goodbye.